Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60. Today is Monday and hopefully it's the start of what's going to be an awesome week of N54 progress, because I'm planning to have the black car running by the end of the week. Whether it happens or not is another thing, but fingers crossed. And before we get too far into it, I just want to say thank you to everyone that is commenting, helping, and a massive shout out to all the members that have joined the YouTube membership program. Those, even the $3 a month, it makes a huge difference to what YouTube actually pays us at the end of the month, and it makes doing this full time make a lot more sense, and even just spending than wasting money on the car. All right, so we might as well just get straight into it. Now, looking around the workshop, we've got some sorting out to do. I am going to leak down test this engine today as well, which I still haven't done, and it's mainly because I didn't want to start pulling it apart until I needed to. Whatever's wrong with it, it's going to be coming out, but it'd be cool to know if it is pistons or head. Now, to get the engine out, I'm actually planning to drop the subframe, engine, gearbox, suspension, everything all in one, and it would be easier if we could drop it onto this side of the HAP hoist. Now, the issue is, we've still only got one door. Now, we were supposed to get another driveway put in that section so that you'd be able to drive in easily onto the lift, but it hasn't happened. So I need to find out if I'm going to be able to back the car in and round on an angle. Now, you might think, yeah, it'll be easy, but trust me, when we were positioning the hoist, it's really weird because this is such a shallow doorway. You actually can't get the car on much of an angle at all. So let me do some sorting out and we'll see if we can back the car onto the hoist. Wasn't oily before. That's oil. So this was the issue I was expecting. So coming in through the door, I actually touched the side of the door with the mirror, and that other side was very, very close, but you can't actually get the arse of the car over enough. So I'm just going to cheat and use the jack. I might be able to shunt backwards and forwards heaps, but I think it's going to take forever. So we'll just jack the back up and slide it over, I think. I don't know how much of that you got to see on the time lapse, but I couldn't slide it over. Oh, we got there in the end. All right. You know what I might do? I've actually got to turn the arms around and put these arms at the back. I only lift it up to give me some more movement inside here, so I'll get these swapped over. So I'd just like to clarify something you've hopefully seen on the time lapse. I've just swapped the arms around. Now, they have these short arms on this type of hoist, and it's to do with getting certain size vehicles on them. And obviously most cars have the engine in the front, so it keeps the engine closer to the balancing point over the beams. Now, I have no doubts I could probably put this car on the wrong way around and this hoist is going to boss it. It's not going to be a problem. But the reason I wanted to swap it is if we had all the weight on these little arms, the back of the car, and then I took the engine out, I was worried about the car actually tipping back. So I want to have the big ones at the back, and then we can actually center the weight of the car closer to the middle and not have anything tip up. Anyway, let's get the car lifted up. And I am sweating. These things are heavy. That one I reckon is about 60 kilos. Well, there it is. It's on the hoist backwards. Thank you, HAP. This is going to make pulling the engine out much, much easier. So what I have got to do, I've actually got to pull the front bar off again that's just been painted because I don't want to get that scratched. I'm going to get the thermo fan out. I'm going to do a leak down test, well, sort of a leak down test real quick on cylinder 4 once it's at top dead center. Then, getting it off, it'll be this heat shield down, undo the back of the gearbox, disconnect from the tail shaft, undo the flywheel bolts while she's up here, then Oh, I don't know. We'll update you as we go. I think I'm just gonna crack on with it. Well, this is going to be the leak down test, although if you've been following my leak down tester doesn't work very well because I overfilled it. So really all I'm going to do is just pressurize the cylinder. Let's start off with low pressure. I've got it on top dead center. Hopefully you can see it in the time lapse. Now, I'm assuming that this is a broken ringland. So we should get air leaking out of there. So let's see what happens. Straight away. Oh, okay. Straight away there's air coming out of there. Trying to think of a way to show you, but I'll show you with the microphone. Unfortunately, I just wiggled that and I think the O-rings come loose, but hopefully you can hear this. Like, it is flowing out of there. So we have a big leak going past the piston rings, which is probably a broken ringland. It's kind of what we suspected. Engine's going to come out anyway, but at least we know. It is definitely the bottom end that is the problem. Well, I guess I better apologise because I got a bit carried away. I planned on sort of time-lapsing the boring bits, but I forgot to time-lapse and I just started undoing things. And now I've actually got a fair bit done. So, to let you guys know, obviously we've got the fan shroud out. I've disconnected the oil cooler. The radiator is disconnected at the top, and this hose, which hopefully you can see just there, is off the thermostat. The intercooler's out. Just down there you can see I have disconnected the transmission cooler lines and also the power steering cooler lines. Now the coolant line that runs along the front of the subframe, the plastic one, it actually comes up the side here and comes to this hose here, which normally goes to the heater core. That's disconnected. Over this side we've disconnected the vacuum canisters and the coolant line that goes into the coolant reservoir. God, again, forgetting what everything's called. The power steering reservoir is going to sit over just on there, and that should come down with the engine. The only thing I think is left on top is the oil catch can and then all the wiring. I've left the wiring connected for now just in case I need to power the car up, which I will need to power the car up to get it into neutral, which we'll do underneath. And I've also got a dude coming this afternoon. In fact, he should be here in about an hour or so to suck the AC gas out so I can crack those AC lines off. But then that is pretty much, oh, and actually no, that is everything from the top for this motor to drop down with the subframe. So let's have a look underneath. She gets close. Just bring it down onto the locks. Cool. So underneath, as you can see all the mess that is, and obviously we've drained all the coolant out. What do I need to do? Right, from here, I need to get in there and undo the torque converter bolts. The reason for that is it's just a bit hard to get to once I drop all this down onto a pallet. And then we need to undo the drive shaft bolts, undo the, I probably don't even need to undo the exhaust. The exhaust just needs to be disconnected from the downpipes. And then it's just disconnect the subframe. I'm not sure if I'm going to, yeah, I think I'll disconnect the control arms from the subframe and obviously the sway bar as well. The power steering rack's going to come down with everything, so I'm just going to keep cracking on. I won't be able to drop it until the AC dude's been, but I'll keep on doing some more stuff and I'll give you an update shortly. Okay guys, unfortunately GoPro's gone flat, but I've just been cracking on with it because it's nearly there. So having a JB4 port injection and a flex sensor makes everything in the DME box an absolute mess. I'm gonna have to go through and check all of that before the car runs again. But we have the catch can disconnected from the bracket. The AC man has just left, so the AC lines are disconnected. I think everything is now disconnected. I've unscrewed the steering rack. Hopefully you can see down there. But I couldn't slide it off, so we'll just have to lift it up and we'll see if it wiggles off. The plan is, at the moment, hopefully you can see under here, is we've got the tyres holding the main part of the subframe, and then I've got a adjustable motorcycle stand that's going to support the gearbox. Now I think that'll do 130 kilos. Should be right. Okay, so I'm going to actually unbolt the subframe. Damn, I need a tripod. All right. Okay, so I've sort of got you set up on the tripod. We have one last bolt in the subframe. Let's see what happens. Okay, subframe is disconnected. As I said, I'm worried about the steering column, but let's just give it a quick I don't know if you guys can see, but the engine didn't go up with the hoist. Just gonna check that. Talk about stressful. It's kind of scary on your own. So what is grabbing? Okay, I'll show you the steering rack because this is what's worrying me. That is the steering rack joint, and it's not separating from, sorry, the steering column, and it's not separating from the steering rack, so I need to work out a way to get that to pull out. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I could not lever the steering column off from that point. However, I did end up getting it off on the top, although I think I might have actually damaged that thing, but we'll have to worry about that later. But yeah, everything actually seems clear. I think we're good to keep going. Let's just have a quick look under this side underneath. Yeah, everything's gone clear. The tail shaft should pull out, hopefully. Nice. All right, let's go a bit more. Let's check again. Yeah, that's going down. Can't see anything grabbing. Ooh. And again, we'll go underneath. Okay, the gearbox is not separated. Okay, need a brake bar. I can see the uni joint is still in. Not the uni joint, tail shaft joint thingy. Should be safe. I'll try and give you guys some light. There we go. Okay, let's pop that out. I hope you saw that, but that is the tail shaft is now clear. Gearbox is sitting on that. All right, we'll go a bit more. Something heavy just went. I don't know what it was. This is a terrible thing to do on your own. Does the engine feel solid? Yeah, engine's not going to go anywhere. Can't see it connected to anything. Well, let's keep going. So we're getting there. That should come down. Oh, some clips and shit. Fuel lines. I think we're all clear. What a bloody miracle. Getting close. Go a bit more. Actually, we're at the level. I can probably shut that down a bit so it doesn't hit the roof. Okay, I just saw the engine move. That's not great. Why is it moving? What I might do is just lower this a bit. Okay. And might also just lock that wheel so it can't actually move. Feels pretty solid. That would have been the clunk we heard before. Okay, so it's a bit close. Just here. I think we're going to clear. Man, it's going to be fun putting it back in. Okay. Oh, I'm sweating. Okay. Oh, she's grabbing. It's this. Okay, we'll go a bit more. Still coming. It's sitting there solid. I guess if anything was still connected, we would definitely know about it by now. I'm just gonna make sure the car is solid because I don't want it to roll back. Oh, she's still good. Okay. Latch the hoist. Hoist is latched. That's it. I gotta tell you, I am sweating like a pedophile at a Wiggles concert. Holy shit. There's my bonnet. All right, we did it. I'm gonna catch my breath and I'll have an outro for you guys soon. So guys, here it is. The broken N54. Now, because I filmed it so long ago, well, it was about 5 hours ago. As I said at the start, we did do the leak down test, and it is definitely the bottom end in cylinder 4 that's the problem. So this is the damaged N54. I mean, all I got to do now is swap every single bit that is bolted onto that, onto the new one over there, which is probably going to take a little while. But let's hope to get most of it done tomorrow, and I'd really like to be putting it back in either Wednesday or Thursday. All right, guys. Look, thank you very much for watching if you made it this far. I was pretty happy that we could get it all out today. I didn't intend to completely get the engine out. It was just a bit of a hope. But yeah, we didn't really have any hiccups apart from the steering column, which just did from the top instead of the bottom. And I'll have a bit of play with that tomorrow to work out what's going on at the bottom, make sure I haven't damaged anything. But yeah, I think we're good to go. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, Team M54 might be running by the end of the week. I'm getting excited. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.